guys, this is Lala Legacy and welcome back to another episode of Symphonic Rain. So let's jump right back in. I continued the conversation while relocating the sandwich to my mouth. I was gradually starting to enjoy myself. The unique atmosphere of this practice room may have contributed. Shall I start by answering your question? You asked me whether I always eat here, I believe. Yeah. You see, this room is a cherished place of mine. I see. If I go after lunch, chances are this room will be occupied already, as it seems many students enter from the back. Well, I suppose it would, but aren't all rooms identical? That's certainly the case, which is why it's just a psychological thing. Some kind of fixation? I suppose you could say that. There's really no significance to it. She briefly surveyed the room, then smiled again. How odd. It sure is. Val was getting started on her second sandwich. Here you are. May I? I made them for you, you know. I could never finish this much on my own. Why? As compensation for yesterday, obviously. Oh. I said I'd pay you back, didn't I? You did. I just didn't know what you meant by it. Or by it that way. What did you think I meant? Remember yesterday? I thought you'd be upset with me for making fun of you. Thanks, but I don't get upset that easily. She laughed out loud for a moment, then brought her own sandwich to her mouth. This was the second time she was treating me to food. It was nothing elaborate this time, but it was still pretty nice nonetheless. Thanks for the food. I was full after 2 of the oversized sandwiches. Val apparently had enough after one, so only 1 of the 4 she had brought in total remained. Are you full? What about you? 1 is always more than enough for me. You were the reason I made more today. I can eat the last one at any time, though. I'll just take it home with me. I see. At any rate, thanks. It was really delicious. You're welcome. I'm glad you liked it. She packed the sandwich back up, then started carefully scanning the floor. Did you drop something? No, I'm checking to see if I didn't drop anything. We can't exactly leave breadcrumbs lying around in a practice room. Good point. It would be bad if we were to be caught. Exactly. She gave me an upward glance, putting a finger to her lips like a child sharing a mischievous secret. But if you always eat in here, you sure know how to erase your tracks. Sometimes instructors would do a round of inspection to check whether the practice rooms are being used properly. I heard they often had to chase out students sleeping in these rooms. To tell you the truth, I've been caught once. So you have? But guess what? I merely wanted to extend my practice time, if only by a little bit. I am so sorry. After saying that, they totally fell for it. It's probably why following that, whenever they spotted me through the window, they would just smile back at me. This is why honor students have it easy. If I ever got caught, I wouldn't get off lightly. You might be right. But... You were telling the truth, weren't you? Huh? About wanting to practice for a little bit longer. While it did sound like she was joking, judging from her attitude towards music, I felt those had to have been her true intentions. Maybe. Anyway, because of that, this is now my own personal room, which is why I don't want it to get dirty. I even clean it myself on occasion. I see. I similarly cast my gaze to the floor to check the area above which I ate. It's probably clean. It was hard bread after all. As predicted, there were no crumbs to be seen. Yeah, I think we're good. Great. Shall we commence practice then? Sure. She giggled, giddily and somewhat slyly. Huh? Nothing. Just that I already had the suspicion this would be the perfect ploy to get you to practice with me. Ah. Things proceeded just as I planned. So that was your ulterior motive all along. Sure enough, I couldn't exactly refuse anymore at this stage. But then, I probably wouldn't have refused regardless. Well, whatever, let's begin. Okay, let's face each other before we start, as usual. Great job! Yeah, same to you. We cleaned up and exited the room together, something I've grown accustomed to lately. We didn't always walk home together, but today I was asked to tag along again. Naturally, I had no reason to refuse. Come to think of it, the time I've spent playing music together with Fal has increased in recent days. My intentions remained ambiguous, yet time was flowing on, slowly but surely. I could still hear remnants of the girl's voice in the depths of my ears, as though working to erase the sound of rain pattering on the ground. December 16th. Well then, what shall I do now? Okay, looks like we can only go to the practice room today. I decided not to meet anyone today and to simply practice on my own, so that when I did meet someone, I could put on an even better performance. That was sort of my reasoning. I should decide first whether to play some piece from start to finish or just practice tidbits here and there. Start to finish. Which piece should I practice? Of course, Fal's piece. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna suck again. Shoot. Ah. Crap. I messed that whole part up. Okay, that wasn't too bad, I guess. Whew. Let's call it a day. Time to go home. It was getting late. After cleaning up the practice room, I went home. 17th of December. The light that seeped in from the window had grown dim. The skies were still overcast with thick clouds, but during daytime I was able to get by without electric light, which was why I often failed to notice the gradual darkening of my apartment due to the setting sun behind the clouds. I played my muffled foretell and read a book I had lent from Asino until it was about time for evening to set in. I played my muffled... Oh, whoops. Isn't it about time for dinner? Phorni notified me of the time as I was sitting behind my foretell, improvising some random tune. She was always humming a melody along with the sound of my playing, so it was surprising she could keep track of the time so well. She annoyed me sometimes, but being a person who easily lost track of time, I was thankful to have her. Huh? That late already? I stretched and shot a glance towards the clock for confirmation. It was slightly past 6 o'clock. Although I didn't have a set time for dinner, it still felt a bit too early to eat. Oh? It's still a little early, isn't it? Just a little. Anyway, I have a little something to ask. Huh? What is it? What are you going to do for dinner today? Why do you ask? I could detect a hint of seriousness mixed in with her usual cheer. Well, I was just wondering if you were going to eat out again. Oh, right, it's Saturday. I guess eating out might be nice. Did you forget? Nah, not really. It probably would have popped into my head eventually. I see. Phorni? No, never mind. Was that what you wanted to ask? Pretty much. Phorni? Why did she ask something like that? And why did she expect me to eat out? It's nothing! I was just curious! Why did you expect I would? Because it seems you've been practicing with her a lot lately. Yeah, I suppose. Hey, what kind of person is Val? A diligent person. Didn't I tell you before? That's just a general impression. I want to know more. Why all of a sudden? It seems you've been practicing with her a lot lately, so I'm obviously curious. Have I really? Well, I admit we've been at it fairly often lately. But what kind of person is she, huh? Truth be told, I didn't really know myself. That's a difficult question. I wondered if she'd been listening to me or not. Her head inclined. She grumbled for a moment, and a second later she suddenly raised her voice. Then I'm going with you! What? I want to check her out. You can't just... I won't take no for an answer, or else I'll tell Ari. Okay, how? Just watch! I'll use this pen to... Just as Phorni grabbed onto a pen about the size of her body, I picked it up by the tip. Ah! She slipped and fell before she had a chance to utilize her wings, as though having no grip at all. What did you do that for? You should know by now that this is an impossible task for you. Don't you ever learn? But... Fine. I just have to take you along, right? Really? Are you sure? Better than having you write down stupid things. Anyway, she's working. I'm not sure if we'll be able to meet her, so no complaints afterward if we don't. Loud and clear. If I walk to the kitchen, I can at least look at her all I want. I'd appreciate it if you didn't pull anything stupid. Well, anyway, I guess I'm the only one who has to get ready. Obviously, I'm always ready to go. The fairy, who didn't need any preparation to go out, spread her wings excitedly, and now she has been urging me to hurry. Chris, you're so slow! Unlike you, I live my life abiding by the laws of physics. Don't put me on the same level as a sprite of music or whatever you call yourself. I stripped out of my loungewear and slipped into something presentable. From the looks of it, the rain outside was pretty weak, but still, I felt I shouldn't dress too sloppily. It was a mere trattoria, but there was still the possibility Falk would see me. Unlike in the town Ari lived, it was still warm here, so a coat wasn't quite necessary. I pulled on a heavy sweater and walked to the front door. "Phorni, I'm done, come on!" "So slow!" Phorni flapped her wings in delight at the sound of my voice. She kind of felt like a pet to me, although I wouldn't dare say that to her face for fear of retaliation. She excitedly dove off the desk and dropped, or rather glided all the way down, up to right in front of my feet. Before she had a chance to touch the floor, I caught her mid-air and gently placed her on my shoulder. "Okay, let's go!" Yeah. It was still a little chilly outside at night. Unable to get wet from the rain, and seemingly not feeling any cold whatsoever, the little mysterious creature was cheerfully scouring the path beyond the rain. "This way? Is it this way?" "Yes, it's this way. I'm walking toward the place, so do I really need to tell you the way? You're not even walking on your own 2 feet to begin with." "Oh, who cares? I haven't been out in a while." "Well, sure, but..." Seeing Phorni scan the town with keen interest made me realize how long it had been since we last went out together like this. She seemed to enjoy being outside. But since she rarely asked me to take her out, I always thought she didn't like it. But then, the chance to see Fal in the flesh after all that I've told her about her might instead be what she's so happy about. "Are you happy?" "Huh? Well, yeah, it's been a while after all." Her soft wings moved and grazed my ear, which tickled a bit. "Hey, don't move." "Oh, sorry." "Are you happy about getting to meet Fal?" "Well, that too, but also just about just being outside." "Can't you go out whenever you want? Your wings." "Right. I guess you can't fly too high places with them." "No, I could go out on my own. I just walk, right? But you know." "What?" "I'd rather not go out all alone." "Huh? But..." No, don't get the wrong idea. It's not like I always want to go out. I'm just happy to go out once in a while like this." "In that case, fine." "Yeah, it's fine." She concluded with a smile, settling that topic of conversation. I silently wondered if it was really okay to leave it at that. "More importantly, are we there yet?" "A little longer. It's just around the next corner." "What's it called?" Copper. No, excuse me. You'll see when we get there. Anyway, I take it you understand?" "I understand. I won't say anything when you're talking to Fal." "Also, no getting upset because I ignored you. And don't go wandering off on your own." "Yeah, I got it." I went over a few rules we had agreed on when going out in the past. Other people couldn't see Phorni, so under normal circumstances I didn't talk to her. It wasn't exactly desirable to be seen muttering to yourself like that. We're almost there. "Welcome!" I was let in by the same waitress as before. I came early this time, so it wasn't very crowded yet. Since there were still many seats available, I could thankfully make full use of a table for 2. I'd probably be done eating by 7 o'clock when it would become crowded, so I wouldn't have to sit at a table with a stranger. I lowered Phorni from my shoulder and opened the menu, which I hadn't received the previous time. "What will you have?" "Doesn't matter," I answered in a low voice, keeping my eyes on the menu and making sure not to move my lips too conspicuously. "That girl wasn't her, right? Will Fal come out to take your order?" "No, she said she cooked the food in the kitchen." Right after the words had left my mouth, someone I hadn't seen before came to take my order. I ordered the same lasagna I'd had before and left the menu for what it was. Phorni began badgering about wanting to see Fal, apparently having gotten irritated after seeing yet another person that wasn't her appear. Hey, can I go look further inside? If you're that eager, sure. Careful not to fall. That's the restroom back there, right? Seems there's a staff-only area beyond that beyond there. Looks like it. Carry me up to that point. Ugh. Oh well. But that is all the time that I have for this episode, guys. So if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already subscribed, by subscribing, you're becoming part of a legacy. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!